Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? I'm going to be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Fantastic Four First Steps Shalla-Bal the Silver Surfer, aka the wife of Norrin Radd in the comics at least. We'll see how that plays out in the film. But I am unbelievably excited to finally have this whole wave. I waited until I got the full wave in hand to review them, and I wanted to start with Shalla-Bal, aka Silver Surfer, because this figure is surprisingly, no pun intended, fantastic. Like, she is the sleeper hit of the wave. Because I love, also bless you to my dog Luna. So the whole wave is pretty solid. There's one figure that pisses me off because I've gotten two of each of them so far, except for Shalla-Bal, actually. And there's one figure that just is absolute garbage, and we'll get around to that whenever we review that one, maybe next, we'll see. But I wanted to start with Shalla-Bal because I feel like a lot of people are going to pass on this figure, you know, initially, because obviously there's people that are like, oh, it's the Silver Surfer, shouldn't be a woman, despite not reading, you know, a comic ever in their life, and understanding that this is an alternate reality, so we're probably going to get Norrin Radd in the future. But anyway, whatever, we're not going to talk about that, the stupid people on Twitter and all that crap. So I feel like a lot of people are going to pass on this figure initially and then come back after the movie and be like, oh, damn, I wish I would have gotten her whenever I had the chance. But don't sleep on this figure because this figure is so awesome. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what she comes with. So as you can see on her right now, she has a pair of splayed out hands. So let's get these kind of up here to show you guys. So these are the standard female hands that we've seen countless times, just cast in silver. And they are pretty, you know, they're pretty good. I wish that we could get just two hands that are like this position instead of the like magic casting hand that we've gotten for, God, almost a decade and a half now, maybe, ish, give or take. We also, with Shalla-Bal, get a pair of fists, which are cast in the same silver as her body, which they're a little translucent, like when you get them in the right lighting and stuff like that. It's not bad, but it's just something to kind of look out for because, you know, like whenever you're doing photos and stuff, you don't want the actual light to go through her like she's Invisible Woman. You want it to, you know, reflect off of her like she's the Silver Surfer. And I love that she comes with a pair of fists. She also comes with an alternate right hand for holding the board. Or, you know, whatever you want to do, like, you know, come and get me, like bring it, you know, like the Rock, or whatever you want to do with it. So that's pretty cool. And this has a hinge that is never going to be seen again because I have no idea where that went. She also comes with this, her, you know, the Silver Surfer board because she wouldn't be the Silver Surfer without it. And I really like how this looks. I don't understand, why is it damaged? Is it because she's, you know, been the Herald of Galactus for like a certain, you know, like for a while or something like that? I'm very eager to see what the story is behind this, because there's like a little bit of orange throughout this, which is also on the figure, and we'll get to that. And it's very subtle that you can't tell in a lot of the promotional pictures, but like there's sculpted grooves and divots and stuff. Like this board has seen some crap, you know, and it's really cool. I'm very excited to see what the story is because, you know, we're so used to the Silver Surfer looking sleek and everything, and this just looks so beat up and busted. And maybe it has to do with, maybe the board is decaying because Galactus needs to eat. So maybe the power cosmic is being lost for her as well. That'd be kind of cool. But then we also get this really cool like base stand ramp thing. And so I am moving, unfortunately. Well, I mean, not unfortunately that I'm moving, but I'm excited I'm getting my first apartment. Also, for anyone that, you know, cares about the man behind the camera. But I do not know if this will fit the comic book Silver Surfer. I hope that somebody did this in a review. If not, maybe I'll show it at some point in the future later down the line. But this is really cool. I love this. This is such a fun inclusion that they did not have to do, and I really appreciated they did because it just gives her, you know, something to, you know, instead of just being on the board, just standing next to everybody, she can actually be in a position. And the way it works is it just slides down and just kind of locks itself into place, which is pretty cool. So, and of course there is a peg on the board itself so you can get her on there, but there's actually some like pretty nice detailing throughout this. And it makes sense as to why there's like the orange and stuff, because it's supposed to be reflecting off of her. And we've seen in the trailers of her like, you know, surfing around in like an orange cloud or whatever. Maybe that's when they're chasing Sue, trying to get Franklin and everything. But we'll see. And now let's take a look at the detail. Taking a look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt is really, other than the board and the like effect piece, and the actual like surfboard gripping hand, the only thing new on this figure is the head sculpt, because the body itself is just I guess in the feet, probably. The feet might be actually from somebody else. They might be reuse. But the body itself is the standard female body, like the smaller female body, maybe, that we've seen like a couple times. You know, I say a couple times, a lot of times. But it actually has the double jointed pinless, you know, joints and all that stuff. And you can see a little bit, it's hard to tell, like right here, you can see it on the forearm mostly. But you can see there's like the little bit of like orangish kind of copper color coming through on the surfer. And it's the same way on the board. And I'm just so eager to see what that means. I bet you that that's what it is. I bet you the power cosmic is fading. And that's why Galactus is so gung-ho to get Franklin. Like maybe he wants to absorb Franklin or use him to sustain his life force or something. You know, I cannot wait for this movie. I'm so excited for this and Superman and Jurassic World, which is also just so random, you know, to be in this month, but I'm so excited for it. And the head sculpt, which I did start talking about, but the head sculpt looks so good. She looks like she's just going to scream, if you want to stop me, you're going to have to fucking kill me, which is just beautiful. I love that. And the hair looks really good. It's slicked back. They did a really, really nice job on that. And it doesn't hinder articulation too much. We'll get into that here in a minute. But the face just looks incredible. Like, if I can get this to focus properly. They did the little bit of black around the eyes, and you can see that she has eyebrows and detail. Right here especially, it looks so much like Julia Garner. Looks so good. I'm so excited to see her as Silver Surfer. She probably won't be in any other movie other than this one. Like, maybe she'll be in Secret Wars or something, you know? Like, maybe. But I definitely could see her dying in this one, and then Galactus going to, quote-unquote, 616, aka Earth 19999999 or whatever, and then us getting Norrin Rad. But we'll see. And now taking a look at her articulation, the hair does hinder a little bit, but you can still get her into a, you know, decent, like, kind of forward surfing pose, which is pretty cool. Her head can go down pretty much all the way, which is awesome. She's got a little bit of tilt on there, actually a decent amount. And then rotation, her shoulders go out about that far, rotate all the way around. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up all the way. All of her hands have back and forth hinges, and then of course they swivel. As for her torso, I wish that she had the like Jean Grey setup where, you know, it was the reverse ab crunch. But she does go forward a little bit, goes back a decent amount, so you can get her into, like, with her head all the way up and her torso all the way back, you can get her into like a proper surfing pose, which is pretty cool. So, and then pivot, you know, tilt rotation, if I didn't say that already. Like, go out that far, could be better, could be worse. Goes that far forward and that far back, actually pretty decent up, but it does start to kick out a little bit. She has thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which go up pretty much, probably could finagle it, get it a little more. Yeah, she can kick her own ass. No boot swivel or anything, but her feet can go that far back, that far forward, which is really good for the posing, for her board, and then of course, ankle pivot. And now onto some size comparisons. Here she is next to her fellow wave mates in Reed and Sue, and these look incredible. Here she is next to the 2 iterations of Johnny that we get in this wave, which is really cool to see. And I love the way that she looks with the Human Torch Flame On version of Johnny. She looks good with the standard Johnny, but I really love the way that those two like bounce off of each other. And then here she is next to Ben, who is also in this wave, of course. And then the SH Figure Arts red and blue suit Tom Holland Spider-Man, because, you know, of course, Spider-Man is an honorary member of the Fantastic Four. And I cannot wait to see him interact with the Fantastic Four going forward in the MCU. Overall, like I said, this figure is seriously a sleeper hit of the wave. Like, the other figures are really great in their own right, except for one of them. And just from the couple that I've gotten, like, I may end up having to try to get a third one at some point. We'll see what happens there. I don't want to have to, because that's just BS, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, this Shalla-Bal is awesome. Please do not sleep on this figure, because, like, we know that we're going to love her when the movie comes out, right? Like, we know that's going to happen, because that's usually what happens. That's always how that goes. And we just, like, even though she's on a basic female body that they could have, you know, spent a little more money on, and stuff. But obviously the budget was very high for the wave because we got all new sculpts across the board for everybody. They look fantastic. I love it. I can't stop saying fantastic. It's just going to keep happening. It's not intentional, I promise. But I love this, and I wish, because I keep looking at Comic Herbie that I have in the background, I wish we would have gotten Herbie and a Franklin, but maybe we'll get that in the wave 2 when we get like an updated Ben with the beard and stuff like that. But this figure is awesome. Seriously, please do not sleep on this figure. She's so cool. She's so fun. She looks incredible on the board. And I wish that there was like a little bit more posing that you could do on the board. I don't know how they could do that aside from like magnets, but that would make the price of the figure probably go up to like a deluxe, you know, and stuff. But as is, the figure is great. And if you're a Silver Surfer fan, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, if you're excited for this movie, you got to get it because she's an essential part. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.